Welcome to Healing the Spirit, a space where we awaken our creativity, deepen our connections, and remember who we are through the lens of astrology, archetypes, and art making. I'm your host, Jonathan Coe. Hello everyone, thank you for being here. This is one of my favorite places to be ever. This is my home on the internet, at least that's how it feels like, and welcome to August. Thank you so much for doing this work alongside me, sitting at the temple of time, as I call it, and listening for its wisdom is really one of my favorite things to do. And if you're here, I'm guessing that it's also your favorite thing to do as well. So here's the game plan I have for the month. In this episode, I'll be sharing 3 themes to pay attention to for our spiritual growth and creative satisfaction throughout August. And in this episode, I'll just let it be thematic. I'll talk about the messages that come through and really share that in a distilled way that doesn't go into too much astrological detail. And then throughout August, you'll be receiving weekly episodes from me where I go more into the deep cuts of the astrology of the month. If you benefit from this work and you feel excited about supporting the work, you can head over to Substack. I'll include the link in the show notes, and you can support us financially for as little as $5 a month, or I think $50 per year. Something like that. You'll receive bonus episodes, a chance to ask questions for the Q&A episodes, and so much more. There's also a founders tier where you can get a 20-minute reading from me in exchange for an annual support. So yeah, if that's what calls to you, I would invite you to join that. Okay, so here are the 3 themes for August 2026. The first theme is power is relational. Listen beyond the words, especially in conversations, especially in discussions that you have with loved ones. Focus on what truly wants to be communicated and expressed, especially if the words are not showing that properly. Especially if that's not transparently reflected in the words, you're being asked to really listen deeply. Listen to what truly wants to be shared in the exchange, both for yourself and for others. It is human for us to say something and then realize that's not exactly what we mean, that there's something deeper that we want to communicate. Don't be shy about correcting yourself, and don't be shy about asking others for clarification. We make mistakes all the time. We get confused all the time. We say the wrong things all the time. This is, again, very human. And the invite here is to repair any missteps in relationships as soon as you catch them. As soon as you can tell that there is misunderstanding happening in the invisible telephone line between you and the other person, stop yourself, interrupt the conversation, and practice saying, okay, let's back off for a minute here and really see what we can uncover through more honestly talking to each other, through more honestly interacting with one another. Listen more and speak less. Have you noticed that people who are resonating at the same frequency as you always seem to understand what you're trying to say, often even before you're done speaking? Energy speaks louder than words. So pay attention to your own state of being as you're communicating with others. Your own inner state your own commitment to being connected to clarity, to being connected to certainty, which is really the energy of spirit, right? When you are aligned with your spirit, with your own intuition, you will speak with clarity. You will speak with transparency. And paying attention to, am I connected to that state of being? Am I connected to my own spirit knowing is going to be very important for the coming weeks. Something major is shifting, and the way that it's showing up, the way that we are being asked to change is through relationships. When you're in a receptive state, when you're not imposing your own agenda of what you want to see happen, but rather you're open to any and all possibilities, life delivers exactly what you need. Not just what you think you want, but precisely what you need. So even though it could feel scary, or you might feel like you're not completely practiced at asking for clarifications, at stopping yourself mid-sentence and correcting yourself, at getting really clear with what it is that you're trying to communicate, and getting really clear with the other person and asking them, what is it that you're really trying to share with me? Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's get to the core frequency of what we're wanting to communicate. The more we practice that, the more we see that there's not any separation between us. And when we dissolve that barrier of separation between one person and the other, we can very quickly resolve any kind of disagreements and confusion. And from that place of union, from that place of connectedness and shared purpose, shared mission, or from a deep understanding of, oh, we're actually different people here and we have different agenda, can we find common grounds? From that place, so much richness comes through. So much flow can happen. So much unconditional love can be expressed. The second theme is prioritize your heart. The heart is expanding. It's helpful to start with some context here. The spiritual etheric dimension around the heart is expanding greatly. Form follows frequency and form follows spirit. So this expansion is also happening physically. Those of you who are paying attention is noticing that your physical heart is becoming more and more visceral. You feel the sensations around your physical heart more and more. The physical heart is becoming a lie detector. You may notice pain or discomfort when you're saying or doing something that's misaligned with the heart. Your heart literally hurts when you deny it. Lying to your heart will become more and more intolerable over the next few years. So this shift has been happening gradually over the last 2 years. But this month is the first truly noticeable transition into a heart-led path for the collective. So you may notice that your heart is more present in conversations. You can feel more clearly when you're misaligned with your heart. You can feel more clearly when you're not sitting in the wisdom of the heart, when you're not listening to the truth of the heart in the moment. So here's what we need to know. The journey towards opening up more to the path of the heart is ecstatic, it's euphoric, and sometimes it's also excruciating. There's a collective illusion that everything will be solved when we shift into a heart-led way of being. We know that this is not true. We know this cannot be true because there's no such thing as solving everything in a 3D reality. The 3D reality is governed by one law, which is that everything is always changing in the three-dimensional reality. In the mundane, in the physical, everything is always changing. However, when we follow and when we listen to our hearts, when we follow and listen to the wisdom of the heart, the guidance of the heart, new paths will open. Some of these paths are ancient, and some of the paths are seeds of the future. Most of them are completely new. This newness is precisely what we need. The collective has been clinging on to the old for too long. It is time to shed the old and to welcome the new. Remember that the reward of choosing the heart is that new doors will open for you. You will be experiencing completely new interactions. You will be drawn to new projects. You will be interested in learning new things. You will have new templates for how to relate to yourself and to other people. Resist any urge to judge whether these doors are good or bad. Your job is to simply walk through them. Allow yourself to be transformed by the process of listening to the heart, following the heart, readjusting and recalibrating according to the heart. The third theme is surrender into the mystery. We are walking into eclipse season in August. There's major shedding that would like to occur in our lives. They have been knocking at our doors for some time. You may even know what they are since the nodes moved into Pisces and Virgo. And this shedding is not failure. The shedding is actually a graduation point that you are ready to welcome. At this point, you've been working with yourself, with expanding your skills and expanding your perspective so that you can welcome this change. When something is being taken away, our work is to actively aid in its dying process. For some, this will be in the realm of relationships. For others, this will be in the realm of identity or work, community, or a sense of home. If you're familiar with your birth chart, you can look at the houses that are activated by the coming eclipses. In the middle of this eclipse season, many of us will experience something unexpected, something that feels like it came out of left field. Remember not to resist it. You may feel pain or regret. You may feel rage. You may feel like you didn't have enough time. You may feel a sense of entitlement coming up, feeling like I deserve better. I could... I should be receiving something that's better than this, or I could have done something differently. Your work is to let the big emotions move through you. There's going to be stories associated with these emotions, and holding on to these stories, allowing your reality to be dictated by these stories is not going to be helpful. Clenching will simply worsen the injury. On the other hand, surrendering to the punches will help you minimize the pain. In a way, my sense is that none of us will be able to avoid feeling some sort of pain. This is a crunchy, specifically the lunar eclipse that happens later in the month, is a crunchy transit. And it's going to be very helpful. It's going to really serve us to not resist the punching. The controller within you will come in and try to control because that's what its job is. At the same time, the sage inside of you will know to ritualize the letting go process. Trust the sage. Follow the way of the sage here. Stay close to your spiritual practice. I would say this is the main guidance that I have for you regarding this theme of surrendering into the mystery. When we think about surrendering into the mystery, there is, again, this misconception that we're just supposed to sit there and do nothing. But actually, that's not true. This is the point of having a spiritual practice. If you have a prayer practice, or if you have a spiritual text that resonates with you, returning to them often throughout the month could be really helpful. Specifically, if you know that a spiritual text is always nourishing for you, it always centers you and grounds you, this could be a really, really powerful month to keep them close to you. The heart of any spiritual practice is to increase your ability to listen to your own spirit. The point here is to open yourself to the consolation, the guidance, the redirection of your spirit. And you'll also feel that this theme is very much connected to the second theme, which is about the opening of the heart in a palpable, visceral way. Because as you listen more and more to your spirit, you will notice that your heart is being stirred. Your heart is the organ of perception that shows you exactly where your spirit is leading you to. So, one of the signs that you are close to your spirit, that you are listening to your spirit and following the path of your spirit, is you feel your heart expanding or contracting based on what's currently happening. The heart is listening to, seeing everything that's unfolding. All right. I hope that the three themes help you on your path, and I'll be returning with some weekly guidance episodes to anchor these insights using the astrology of August. We'll talk more about the specifics of the astrology, what's happening, and the different movements of the planet, and what it means to us archetypally, symbolically, and also in a form way, right? In terms of how that frequency translates into form. And for those of you who would like to receive a reading, I'm opening very limited spots for astrology readings throughout August and September. And I'll invite you to click on the link in the bio to book some time with me. I look forward to seeing you. Okay. Thank you so much for your attention, for doing this work alongside me. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.